The first veteran that I'm going to talk about is a black man whose name is Abraham Williams, also known by the name Abram. And he is buried in plot number 4. And if you've been up to the cemetery, that is a stone block with 4, the letter 4, and the initials MSP, Massachusetts State Prison. And until we got involved in this project, nobody really knew who any of those people were. So again, that's why we're here today, specifically to honor the veterans. So Abram was born in 1838 in Lowell, Massachusetts. He shows up in the Massachusetts State Census of 1855, and he is a laborer in an Ipswich household. And I got further into this. I went online and did some digging around, and I could find out different things about who was involved in this. I think he probably was a slave at that time. So at 21 years of age, he had moved 7 miles from where he originally lived in Ipswich, and he was working as a shoemaker. In 1863, now the Civil War was starting, the war between the states, he married Mary Haskell. Now, Abram and Mary had a son who was born in 1864, but by then Abram was serving on the Union side. He enlisted 3 years after the start of the war. He enlisted in the 5th Regiment of Massachusetts Colored Volunteer Cavalry. And just as a footnote, the United States military services fully integrated 85 years later. So if you, at that time, when he enlisted, he would have gone into a colored regiment. This was a cavalry regiment, but they served, for an unknown reason to me, as unhorsed. They served as just regular infantry. So, dismounted. They served dismounted. He did see combat in the Civil War. He participated in closing campaigns resulting in the surrender of Robert E. Lee at Appomattox. Toward the end of the conflict, the regiment guarded a Confederate prison in Point Lookout, Maryland, and then they moved on to Rio Grande in Texas. At the end of the war, the regiment was disbanded and he was honorably discharged. An interesting footnote of the regiment, there were 123 casualties in this regiment. I don't know what the total manpower was, but 123 casualties. 7 died in battle. 116 died of disease, which is not unusual for this, how people died during this conflict. In 1870, 5 years after the war between the states ended, Abram was incarcerated in Massachusetts, probably in the Charlestown prison, which was like a medieval chamber of horrors. That prison was built in 1805. Now, he may have been transferred to spend the end of his time in prison to Concord, because the Concord prison actually opened in 1878. And in 1878, in September, veteran Abram Williams passed away at 40 and rests today in plot number 4.